Welcome to Glow Focus, your mid-morning conversational program that looks at the state of the nation. And of course, we hope that you have a very lovely holiday and you've returned to work promptly. We would address topical issues in focus after reading headlines and reviewing issues in the dailies this morning. To keep you abreast of the latest from the national dailies, random facts in history will refresh your minds as will make your morning much better. Welcome on board as you get involved.
We'll go on a short break now. The program continues shortly. Please stay tuned.
You're on to GF.
Glow Focus, your mid-morning conversational magazine show on 99.1 FM, Akure.
Relaxation is a foundation of success. It creates space for clarity, creativity, and innovation. Wait, when last did you get a good break? Veta's exclusive apartment is here for you and your friends, family, and guests. It is always a soft luxury at Veta's exclusive apartments where smart bedrooms, spacious living spaces, parking lots, and free Wi-Fi to stay connected, well-equipped kitchen for your tastings, and a serene environment with 24-hour security and power supply. So come and lodge, come or get a VIP rest and privacy at Veta's exclusive apartments at number 1 F1 Alaye Street inside Ijapo Estate, Akure, Ondo State. For reservations
0805 484 7777. I take that again. 0805 484 7777.
Tell a friend to tell a friend that Veta's exclusive apartment Ijapo Akure is affordable, welcoming, and safe to stay for memories.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Glow Focus on Glow 99.1 FM Halim. I'm so surprised that despite a little bit of reduction in the price of petrol, transportation prices are still on the high side, and of course commodities are also on the high side. There have been no reduction. The effect of the reduction of petrol a little bit has not reflected in the cost of transportation, and I begin to wonder, sometimes people would say it's not just our leaders, even sometimes we are the problem of ourselves because we make life unbearable to our fellow human beings. Coming to work this morning, when you look at the price of fuel, sometimes you won't consider of probably dropping your mode of or means of transport, probably your vehicle or your bike or anything. You intend to drop and prefer, to take bike, thinking that it will be cheaper. And at the end of the day, dropping your vehicle, going on a bike, you realize that you could have even done better. So I don't know why people take advantage of the hike in prices of petrol, and affecting other things, especially transportation.
Well, one thing is this. I think we all have to do better, especially when where we're dealing with a common problem. The common problem is the fact that we're all buying petrol at the same price, and it's affecting the other things that we should spend money on. So if petrol is on the high side and there is a petty reduction, we should always try and reflect that petty reduction in every other thing that we're doing before. Because see, it's as if you are demanding that Nigeria gives you money or gives you a lot. You're not ready to give Nigeria back anything. And if you give your neighbor something good, you're giving Nigeria something good. So those, involved in transportation should help the situation, because see they would complicate it even more if they do not reflect the petty I used to work petty because it's actually a small reduction, from 1,400, almost 1,005, now to 1,200 per litre. So the transportation transportation fare that was 200 before, and you made it 300. One of the best things you could do is to do 250. Then again, if there's another adjustment you can do, you come back to 200. You get so, but now they are the ones gaining at the expense of commuters who use their vehicle, their tricycle, their bikes, and buses. So we should try and adjust. But I think, this boils down to the association as well. Maybe there's no synergy between
there should be a price control.
Thank you, regulation, because that's what happens in industries that are not promptly regulated by the government, because the agency and the members would do whatever pleases them, and that's not too fine on Nigerians, because without these people who move to work every day, who go to the corridors of the state, the cities, and everywhere, nobody can fuel their public transportation. Put your family members there, get them to where they are going to, and ask them for money. No, you can't do that. So there's a need for whoever is in charge of transportation at the local grassroots level, the state level, to liaise with these people and find a middle ground. And somebody should speak to them. We would expect that, because, for example, before I got here, the something happened too. Now, the bike man who took me, to work this morning said I negotiated 700, right? And he said, I told him I was going to make a transfer to him. The next thing he said is, bros, you have to put charges. I said, charges as how? Charges as how? Your fare is 700. Right? But I want to pay you via bank transaction. You're asking me to add charges for what?
I don't know.
Your money is 700. If I gave it to you, by hand in notes, you would get 700. Why do you want more than 700? Because I want to make a transfer.
We need to work on this, and we need to do better. Please,
so it's actually a syndrome.
Life unbearable
right?
for ourselves. Please, let's be human. Let's have that human empathy inside us. Please, let's not try to make use of advantage. Please, this is not nice. Let's be human. All right, we'll move on to the next segment, Halim.
All right, of course, we've got stories from the pages of newspapers. Let's look at the issues in the dailies, just as we have them. We'll look at some of the papers that we have here. Of course, we've got the Hope newspaper from Homeland, Ondo State. We also have the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard, as well as the Nation newspaper, Daily Trust, and Daily Post. All right, from Ondo State, we've got a story. It says industrialization. Aidatiwa woos investors, hints of a state-owned beach resort. Okay, let's hope that this will be about the beach side in Ondo State, where a lot of persons have actually said the government should make better use of it. The writer says Araromi coastline, the level of investment required to maximize its benefit. Let's hope that that wouldn't be lip service. Of course, the state government would do the needful and make sure that that coastline works. This morning too, a shocking headline from the Punch newspaper: doctors begin strike today over arrears. The strike declared by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, scheduled to begin today, April 7, 2026, is already threatening to disrupt services across federal and state-owned hospitals nationwide. Resident doctors in Nigeria have spent cumulative 51 days on the strike since administration of President Bola Tinubu began, a development that raises fresh concerns over the government's ability to sustain agreement with health workers. The figure, which includes about 2 strikes and a warning action between 2023 and 2025, comes as doctors once again announce plans to down tools starting from today over unpaid allowances and policy reversal. Report says the immediate trigger for the new strike is the federal government's reported decision to halt, that is to stop, the implementation of the revised professional allowance table, a key component of an agreement reached after 2025 strike. In the latest statement, NARD described the move as unfortunate and accused the government of pushing doctors into another avoidable industrial action. The association said its National Executive Council resolved to embark on a total and comprehensive strike following the deliberations over a policy shift. That's seen in the Punch newspaper. Also, at the Punch, federal government budgets 135 billion naira for 2027 election lawsuit. The federal government has approved 135.22 billion naira in the 2026 budget for what it described as electoral adjudication and post-election provisions, pointing to a fresh multi-billion naira commitment to manage disputes and obligations that typically trailed Nigeria's election. And of course, the provision was contained in the House of Representatives order paper for 31st of March 2026, which carried out the report on the 2026 appropriation bill, as seen by Punch newspaper on Monday. Newsmen observed that the allowance was captured under the service-wide votes, a centrally managed pool of funds used by the federal government to finance obligations not tied to specific ministries, departments, or agencies. That could also be something to look at today. All right. Still from the Punch newspaper, electricity tariff hike imminent as Gencos step up pressure. Electricity generation companies, Gencos, have called on the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to urgently review electricity tariffs following the federal government's recent increase in the domestic base price of gas, warning that delays could worsen liquidity challenges, distortion across the power sector. The chief executive officer of the Association of Power Generation Company, Joy Ogaji, said operators were less concerned about the increase in gas prices itself, but more worried about regulatory delays in adjusting tariffs to accommodate the new cost of reality. Also this morning from the Vanguard newspaper, 1,402 Nigerians killed, abducted by terrorists in 96 days. International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law Inter-Society has said that terrorists operating in Nigeria have killed and abducted 1,402 Christians in 96 days, spanning from January 2026, New Year's Day to Easter Monday, April 6, 2026. The group, in its recent update on various attacks, said 450 people were killed between January and April 6, 2026, while 600 were abducted within the period under review. The chairman of the Inter-Society, Emeka Umuagbalesi, in a statement said the massacre of Christians and persecution of churches, that is the Nigerian Christian genocide allegedly in Nigeria, has continued to widen and escalate with the state actors involved deepening unchecked. Those are the stories as seen so far. We'll react to them before we take some other stories. Comfort,
Yes.
doctors on strike this morning. And of course, in the Nigerian budget, we've got over 133 billion naira for 2027 election lawsuit.
Okay.
Pre-post.
Let me take first things first. You know, Christian, and sometimes we get to lie to ourselves that there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. I mean,
It is alleged.
How can we have 1,402 Christians killed in 96 days and Nigerian government and saying that all is well? You see people going to church. Now, churches can no longer hold vigils because of insecurity in Nigeria. We talked a bit about this yesterday. International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, with the Inter-Society group all together, they have come out to that terrorists operating in Nigeria have killed, and these are figures.
That's a survey done. That's just this year, January to April.
Now, please, I have said this before and I'm going to reiterate it again, that those who are in the security parastatals, if they don't know how to do their jobs, they should resign. If they are not resigning, please, they should be sacked. I think it's time. I don't believe in protest, because you can keep protesting here and there. Because we still talk about doctor strike. Keep protesting here and there, and the needful is not done. I think personally that the federal government of Nigeria, of course, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, should call the security men to order, especially their leaders, and tell them if we keep sacking all the service service chiefs, the security operatives, the bigger men, because sometimes we've had allegedly that these bigger men, they're just somewhere relaxing and they don't care about the lives of people, being lost. How can we have 1,402? I'm coming, Alim. They should, to my own view, the president should just, put it into law. I think it should be a law.
It should be a framework.
That if we have in this state we have different communities in a particular state, if we have any issue of massacre, kidnapping, immediately the next day you don't have to just resign. So I think with that they would up their game. When we have like 5 person resigning like 1 month or even sacked. 2 months or sacked, things, I think the needful will be done. We just have to take the bull by the horns.
Because it's happening under their watch.
And I feel that they are not getting it because some of their family members are not involved. If someone closer to the president is involved, someone closer to some state governors are involved, the needful will be done. All
right. Also, let's look at the doctor strike as the electricity tariff hike is seeming imminent as Gencos are stepping up pressure. They are saying that if you look at it very well, that a lot of things is happening because recent increase in domestic base price of gas. They are warning that delays could worsen liquidity challenges and distortion across the power sector. They are asking for things to actually be put right as well because they are the ones generating. And yesterday we even read that the federal government through the president has asked that 3.3 be disbursed to look at the debts that they have in the electricity sector. Before close of work yesterday, somebody came out again from the electricity sector to say that how many times do they want to announce the same figure, that these things are not adding up. And Gencos are out today again to say that, okay, there is pressure and they have to apply pressure so that we do the needful in the electricity before things go south again. Doctors are saying that agreements have not been followed, especially from the 2025.
See, Alim, let's talk about the electricity tariff hike that is imminent, and the Gencos have, stepped up their pressure. What I am so concerned, my own department, like I would always say, gas. Some persons are not concerned whether it is raised to a $10. It is not really their problem because gas is a feedstock and a pass-through cost. So if the regulator in the power sector is comfortable with the increase, it's some of them feel because they have it all over. It is not their problem because whatever they are charged is what they pass down to us. But I am just saying that we can actually do better. There are other means, that we can generate electricity. There is dam. There is we have plastic. There is sun. Can we just do better? We have people who have the technical know-how in this country and they are not at the helm of affairs. I think the president should look inward. If he cannot look inward, he should employ people around who has this brain. We have Nigerians.
Foreigners or locals?
Locals. Don't talk about foreigners. Locals. There are Nigerians who are doing well, and I wouldn't say that. I'm not agreeing to that fact that most of our best brains are abroad. No. We have some good, better brains still in Nigeria here.
You've got qualified graduates.
Look for them. We have young people doing wonders, doing things, creating things, building things. Look for people who can actually look for a sustainable means of electricity. Aside from all of this,
like a lasting solution.
Lasting solution to all of this. There's solar. Solar
because
uses
this is science.
God is the one giving us sun, and some persons have come out to discover that the use of this can actually generate electricity. Why can't we just look inward and look for other things that can give us, that can generate
because
electricity?
Because just like you said yesterday, a lot of Nigerians are the ones taking care of themselves.
Honestly,
water,
not our government
health.
are not. I'm sorry, our government are not responsible for our well-being. When we're in secondary school, they're responsible for your shelter, and all that.
When we're quite younger, sometimes they will call you, they will say, water has come. It means there is a piped water in the community, and when it comes, everybody brings out their jerry cans and all that. Now you hardly see. Kids of nowadays, they don't even know what that means.
Exactly. No good roads, no electricity, no security, and you said this is a country? May God help us.
All right. Okay. Let's look at doctors now. Last 2 weeks, or let me say last month, generally, there was an attack upward here at
Very close to us here.
Thank you. Nurses, after that attack, said, people were abducted. But, the local the local regulators of activity said there was no abduction, that it was just robbery. But those affected said it was an abduction because people were taken away from that, hospital, away from work. If you take somebody away from their original place, an abduction has taken place because you have done that forcefully and without their will. They didn't follow you. So in the end, it came out that Association of Nurses in Ondo State declared that if that continued, they will stop working at night. It would affect people who are on the bed, who are trying to get treatment. Now doctors are saying again that they've not been agreement has not been followed. They said resident doctors in Nigeria have spent a cumulative 51 days on strike since the administration of President Bola Tinubu, and fresh ones are brewing. They said that it includes two major strikes, one in action 2023 and 25, and this is just about agreement.
Halim, I just feel that this present government is raising concern about its ability to sustain agreements with health workers, because most of these persons going for greener pastures, if you look at them, they're from the health sector. So it means that attention is not being paid to them and the government is not keeping to their words. How can we have people saving lives, losing their lives even in return? There is not even security for these the health workers, just
and
like
they
the one
cry
would
for
happen.
allowance.
Exactly, allowance. Please take good care of our health workers. And I think that, or I suggest that there should be a law. I would always, because where there is no law, there is no offense. There should be a law in Nigeria that whether you are the governor, whether you are the president, you are a commissioner, you should all use treated in Nigeria. See, that's the only way our health sector can get fixed.
But
otherwise, we are just joking. We're just, because that's the. I am telling you, there was a time I read it and I did a research sometime that even people from Saudi Arabia came to Nigeria in those days for treatment in Nigeria. So where is that Nigeria of then? Are we now saying the Nigeria of then is better than Nigeria of today? So please, the needful needs to be done. There should be a law that states, I am suggesting, and I know that we all have that right to, of course, everybody has the right to vote. Come 2027, let's do the needful, let's vote, and while voting, we should also raise concerns that our presidents, our governors, our commissioners, our senators, all those are the helms of affairs, should make use of our health facilities in Nigeria. That should also cross-check. There should also be monitoring, not just paperwork. Monitoring to the tune of, okay, let's see your passport, your visa. Okay, which country are you going to? What are you going there for? So it does not just go beyond rhetoric. They should even to the airport. Let's see where you're, because some persons might be going for health, checkup abroad, and then they'll tell you they're just going for holidays. Once we start imposing that on them, the needful will be done in our health sector.
All right, let's look at some other stories. Let me quickly run with them so that we react to them in a secondary way before we take reactions from home. In the Nation newspaper,
Alima, I wanted to mention something about security of our health workers. Please, there should be. We don't have state police now, but we have a Motekun, who is also a bit representing
state officers
police.
Attached to them on duty.
On duty, everyone, not just on night duty, even broad daylight.
So if they hear somewhere, they will say, okay, there's someone here.
And then there will be somebody monitoring the movement of people in and out of the hospital. Aside from, of course, we have security man, but not that. Outside the door,
I was going to say,
around the street of the security of hospitals, let's have
the
operatives.
Hospital perimeters.
Yes, security operatives around the monitoring.
Not just local vigilantes.
Not just local monitoring those going out and in of the hospital. Because with that, you can just sense the attack that happened. It didn't just start that day. It was a calculated attempt.
Yes,
and before then, there would have been suspicions. Who is this person just roaming around? Who is this person always passing here? Sometimes, they said they came with black Venza, with no plate number. So all of these things would have been happening. Coming to survey, see how they can carry out their plans. Let's try more in securing the lives of our health workers. And in all over the local government areas in Ondo State, not just in Akure. It could happen anywhere. So every local government area in Akure, in Ondo State, let's have security operatives monitoring all of these health facilities, not just the health facilities, even our workers. The
issue
safety.
Is this.
Sometimes, or maybe we should
might
just
not
have
have enough personnel. We might not have enough personnel.
And they should employ more.
That's good. So that's it. Another thing I'm looking at is this. I feel like, what does it profit us if a health worker or any other person who is a service, worker, an essential worker, comes to work and they do not feel safe? See, if the service worker is not safe, how about the person that they want to attend to? How will they come?
Halim, let's leave even ordinary Nigeria. Let's remove essential workers, broadcasters, health practitioners. you and I, let's be realistic. Are we actually safe?
I don't feel safe, but sometimes
I mean,
I complete programs at night to find my way home.
You want to go some places and you feel like,
I tend to want to call you or call someone.
Don't let me go with this particular bike. Don't let me go with this car. They already know me with this car. I've been somewhere before and they said, oh, she just entered, she just drove in. And that's because somebody was monitoring me. I think that was when so please, and this is not just me, it goes to every other person. Everyone is scared. How can we be living in fear in our own country, not even in a foreign country? Please.
All right.
Rightful agencies listening at this time, please do the needful. It's our country. This is what we have. Okay. Let's protect it with everything that we can.
I think we should use that to read this. That Zamfara government confirms killing of 100 bandits by troops. Zamfara state government has confirmed that soldiers killed about 100 bandits, praising security agencies for their feat in the ongoing battle against insecurity. The Commissioner for Information and Culture, Mohammed Dantawasa, broke the news in a statement made available to newsmen. That's our security guys winning a war there. Let's go to Lagos in the Nation newspaper. Lagos rent hits 26.8 million yearly, says report. Nigeria has emerged as one of Africa's most expensive rental markets, with Lagos ranking fourth as rising housing cost continues to place significant financial pressure on urban residents. And of course, the ranking places Lagos behind Abidjan, the capital of Cote d'Ivoire, or you call it Ivory Coast, Cape Town in South Africa, and Accra in Ghana, which occupy the top three positions, reflecting growing housing demands and limited supply across Africa's leading cities. Other cities in the top 10 are Douala of Cameroon, Nairobi of Kenya, Kigali, and of course Dar es Salaam, Cairo, Casablanca, underscoring a continent-wide rise in rental costs across major cities. According to the report by Fortran and Company, a luxury two-bedroom apartment in Lagos prime area average is $19,373 annually, equivalent to 26.8 million naira. That's in Lagos.
Just for two-bedroom apartment.
All right. It's getting more interesting.
I have said this. People take advantage of situations.
Of ourselves.
Of situations, then ourselves. Lagos, they would say, is nobody's land, but of course there are some persons, you just say that on the paper. People's village. Some people's village. People who are from Akure. Exactly. You say Lagos is, and having people, Lagos is, why they say that is because we have Igbos, Hausas, Yorubas, and all the different tribes in Lagos coming there for a means of livelihood. But then, how can we have 26.8 million naira for two-bedroom apartment in Lagos? Yeah. Why?
Well, maybe that's why some people say people don't go to choice areas, stay in town.
And do you know that even in Akure, do you know there are some houses in Akure, some apartments of 1 million naira, over a million naira for two-bedroom apartment here?
In our state here, the average, I don't know, I'm not too sure. I'm just saying the average could be 500, half a million, just to secure a comfortable place.
I also feel that there should be a price control in all of this.
Regulation.
If you want to build a house, fine, it's good. God has blessed you. You want to give your house for
comfort.
rented.
Apart from price control, how about we ask government to perform one of their promised duties, which is to provide housing, cheap housing for people. There are places in Nigeria here, some states where they provide houses for people, or let me say housing, and people take possession of those apartments at a rate, then they complete the payment, so it's a subsidized thing. See, you can run good, you can bring the dividends of democracy to people, maybe say that there's good governance without you subsidizing some things. And the things that you have to subsidize are things that have to do with amenities, because you want people to enjoy it, not because you are in government, just because that's a role, constitutional role of the government. Road, hospitals, electricity, security, housing, these things are basic. And I think, Nigerians have turned their back and they are not even demanding for it. They just want to go about it themselves because they are solving their own problems. But just like you said, regulation could give us a headway, because that's an industry. The housing industry is not, real estate industry is not regulated.
So this is a call to action to those in the estate realm. Yes, housing estates. Please,
agents and all that.
Call them to order. Let there be a price. What
do you know the
think?
irony?
Let there be a price.
Do you know the
control.
irony?
Yes.
Most agents will take people to, overly priced houses. They do not live there. They can't live there. They themselves, they don't live there.
And
they don't.
That's not even enough. They would double the price, the owner has given to you for them to rent it out. They might say, okay, for instance, the house is about 2.5 million
so
or 200,000 or 500, as the case may be. And they will double the price. And they will insist. Until when God now finally comes through for some person, they would now meet the owner of this. And like,
we even have a staff who was a victim of that.
I didn't give them for that.
She wanted a 2-bed, and the 2-bed was in town, middle of town, not in any of our GRAs in Ondo State. She wanted a 2-bed in town, and of course, the agent said it was 1 point something, 1.2. When they got to the landlord said it was just 600. So you can imagine. So it's even more than half.
So let there be regulations to all of this.
So let's look at the Vanguard newspaper 2027. Ahead of it, INEC laying landmines to prevent us from fielding candidates. That's coming from ADC. That's 2 riders. APC doesn't want me on the ballot. That's coming from OB. And of course, we have no hand in OB's travels. That's coming from APC Chairman Yelwada. Let's look at the story. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, yesterday kept mum as the opposition African Democratic Congress, ADC, accused it of laying landmines to stop it from fielding a candidate in the next general election. The electoral umpire was also silent on the 72-hour ultimatum given to it by ADC youth to reverse its recognition of Senator David Mark-led National Working Committee, National Executive Committee, NEC, of the party, or face nationwide protest. These happened on the day the media officer of Peter Obi of the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate and leading contender, among others, for 2027 in ADC, alleged a coordinated plot by the All Progressive Congress to stop Peter Obi from getting on the ballot. In a quick response, Abimbola Toki, Special Advisor Media and Communication Strategy to APC National Chairman Professor Nantawe Yelwada, said the ruling party has no hand in the travels of the former Anambra State Governor and urged him to look elsewhere. These are the stories seen today. Let's look at the Daily Post newspaper. We've got a story there. It's not a very palatable one, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Kebbi Assembly Speaker Muhammad Ankawi dead. Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, Honorable Muhammad Usman Ankawi, passed away last night. Ankawi, who represented Zulu constituency under the All Progressive Congress APC, was elected as Speaker at the inauguration of the 10th Assembly, June 8, 2023. Details surrounding the circumstances of his death were not immediately disclosed at the time of filing the report. His death, however, triggered an outpouring condolences from fellow lawmakers, political associates, and residents. And the story said in another paper that he died in Egypt and not in Nigeria. So, just like you said earlier, when people seek medical attention outside their country, it may happen that, if it's actually a terminal thing, they might be brought back dead into the country, which, debases our health practitioners and our health industry in Nigeria. We have solutions at home. We have people qualified who can take care of people. We've got facilities as well. Government just needs to improve welfare of personnel and make sure that we have tools.
And of course, state-to-heart facilities, modern equipment, technologies. Let's invest in all of these things and make Nigeria a livable place for everyone. Then let's quickly talk about this one. INEC laying landmines to prevent us. That's ADC alleging that INEC are preventing them from, being in the 2027 or being part of the 2027 election. Now, it's already looking like INEC is on his side. To me, it's looking like they're not transparent enough with all of those things, because there are timing. I will keep reiterating this. There are timing and schedule for everything that you do. How can you, start giving out rules now? Where were those rules before? Now that we have people merging, coming together, it's going to look like you're intentionally doing it, even if you're doing the right thing. But the timing if the timing is right, sometimes they would say that the right thing at the wrong time, the wrong thing at the right time. So I think this is the right thing at the wrong time. So they need to look a way around it, or look for a way around it to make sure that they balance it up, because to the eyes of the public, eyes of Nigerians, it's already looking like the INEC, they are on the side of a particular party, and then witch hunting the other party.
Nigerians are even alleging that. They're alleging that. All right, let's look at this story as well. We've got one from the Daily Trust. Military arrest of 5 over killing of girl in Maiduguri. The Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Adinkai has arrested 5 suspects linked to the death of a 14-year-old girl caused by the discharge of firearm in Maiduguri. The incident occurred on April 4, 2026 at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital UMTH staff quarters. In a statement issued on Monday, the Media Information Officer of the Operation Adinkai, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, said the suspect was apprehended in Ngomari area in collaboration with a civilian joint task force. Also, Zamfara government bans are signing out carnival in schools. Zamfara State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has banned signing out carnival and related activities in schools across the state. The directive was contained in a circular dated 6th of April 2026, signed by the Commissioner for Education, Abdul Malik Abubakar Gajam, and copied to the Governor, Dauda Lawal, security agencies and schools. To address the trend, the ministry directed an immediate ban on all signing out activities, mandated stakeholders meetings in schools to enforce compliance.
Halim, this particular story, is a call to action. Zamfara banning signing out carnivals. I think
we've seen similar stories in some states.
Some of these things, when children say, or probably when schools say they are signing out and all that, and they have all different kind of carnivals, there are some parents who do not have the financial resources for all of these things. When you put them into problems, their child begin to see other children whose parents have the money as maybe their parents are not doing enough, and then some persons say, don't worry, if your parents cannot do this out some way somehow, let me do it for you, and they begin to initiate them. That's cultism. It began from that. When children begin to sign out from secondary schools, they begin to initiate people. Come, don't worry, I'll give you the more. You need to buy some shirt, you need to buy some sneakers, don't worry, I'll give it to you. Just accept that you'll be part of my team. And then, trying to recruit people into teams. I suggest that some children also would be morally down. Some persons will feel their parents are not, and we begin to, there's another story we need to look at. We'll look at that later.
Yes, finish.
Please. All of this carnival, it has been banned. I am aware of the, having parties for
as a parent.
School.
How do you feel when a primary school pupil is told, apart from wearing a gown, to make other provisions just because you want to pass from one class to another?
See, I just feel like it's the norm, because the
gowns are okay. They make them feel,
yes,
fulfilled and
but
ceremonial.
Making it, I feel that it should not be compulsory. It's only those who can, pay, who can participate.
I think
but
the ban is safer.
Safer side, just ban
it.
Because all fingers are not equal.
Yes.
Don't put parents into unnecessary pressure. Don't also put the student into unnecessary pressure, because there are some persons who are from a good home, and you find someone who is not from a good home, telling them, pressurizing them, if you join my team, if you are part of this, if you join whatever it is I am doing, I'll give you money, don't worry, I'll give you money to pay, we'll pay, I'll tell my mommy to pay for you, things like
then
that.
Then begin to owe them.
Exactly. So let it be banned permanently.
All right, let's wrap it up with this one before we pick calls from home. You can access us via the streaming video online on Glow 99.1 FM Akure. When you finally drop a comment, you can also call studio lines. Before we call out the studio lines, let's look at this story from the Daily Trust. Arise News anchor Ikoku joins politics eyes reps seat. Dr. Chioko Constance Ikoku, an anchor and analyst on Arise News, has announced a decision to leave, to take a leave of absence from journalism to pursue career in politics. Ikoku, who is widely regarded for a role in holding public officials accountable and prompting issues of public interest, said a decision was informed by a first-hand experience of gaps in governance, and I believe that competent professionals should actively contribute to nation building.
I agree with her. I think it's a good move. Yes, it is a
Because
good move.
we in the media realm, we tend to do our job, but sometimes it's like the thing. If you don't join them in politics, you might not be able to fix things. So
exactly.
that would be a
And
good move.
sitting back, folding your hands, praying things
Just
will change
looking at
without
them.
nothing done. Exactly. We have somebody in Oyo State too, the popular broadcaster.
Yeah,
who,
Hamzat Oriyomi.
exactly. Who also was vying for a
declared under
governorship.
Accord.
Yeah. Or governorship position. It's good, depending whether you're in the media, whether you're in the health sector, whether you are even in law. Because I've seen some lawyers, vying for positions, political positions. Let's give those who have the privilege, or those who have what it takes,
clear vision,
to roll. Enough of because this person is wealthy, because of this person is well known. Let's give those who actually know the job the privilege of doing it. And if you feel you consider someone who why not even if it's just one vote, let it count.
It will count.
Let it count.
It counts. That's it. All right. Okay. We'll pause on that, and we definitely want to have your own takes on some of the issues we've seen in the dailies. Anyone could interest you. Let's just know which one you want to talk about. But please, while you are speaking, be very civil with your comments without attacking anyone, any agency. Just make known your own opinion. All right, you can call 0805 551 1110
or 0706 6771 822. These are the numbers to call to be part of the conversation. Remember, we are live on Facebook at Glow 99.1 FM. Akure. We're going to short break now. The program continues shortly. Please stay tuned.
Relaxation is a foundation of success. It creates space for clarity, creativity, and innovation. Wait, when last did you get a good break? Veta's exclusive apartment is here for you and your friends, family, and guests. It is always a soft luxury at Veta's exclusive apartments, where smart bedrooms, spacious living spaces, parking lots, and free Wi-Fi to stay connected, well-equipped kitchen for your tastings, and a serene environment with 24-hour security and power supply. So come and lodge, come or get a VIP rest and privacy at Veta's exclusive apartment at number 1 F1 Street inside Ijapo Estate, Akure, Ondo State. For reservations,
0805 484 7777. I take that again. 0805 484 7777.
Tell a friend to tell a friend that Veta's exclusive apartment Ijapo, Akure is affordable, welcoming, and safe to stay for memories.
Rise to the peak of your morning with Glow Focus on 99.1 FM Akure.
Welcome back. Today, we did tell you earlier that we're looking at environmental issues, and Ondo State is facing several environmental issues, particularly related to waste management and flooding. The indiscriminate disposal of waste, especially plastics, is clogging drainage systems, leading to waterlogging and flooding, especially during heavy rainfalls. And we're about to go into that. The state's capital, Akure, here is characterized by inadequate waste collection infrastructure and limited regulatory enforcement, resulting in widespread improper waste disposal here and even along Okejebu here. And of course, flooding is caused by blocked drains and waterways due to waste disposal, inadequate collection and disposal infrastructure, the air pollution, open burning of waste releases toxic pollutants, and water contamination is another thing. Water blockage and pollution of water bodies, and all of these things, bring about, you have mosquitoes here and there, around our vicinities. And the Ondo State government has initiated efforts to address these issues, including expanding waterways and canals, to reduce flooding and cautioning residents against improper waste disposal. However, more needs to be done to address the systemic and institutional failures contributing to these environmental problems. And that would lead us to our guests on the program today. She's the chairman of Waste Management Board, Dr. Mrs. Yinka Alabi. We're going a short break now. The program continues. Please stay tuned.
is Random Facts.
The shortest war in history lasted just 38 to 45 minutes between Britain and Zanzibar. Youth populations in Africa are projected to double by 2050, shaping global labor markets. Brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy, despite being small.
This is Random Facts. The human body contains enough carbon to make about 900 pencils because carbon is a fundamental element in molecules studied in biochemistry. The world is becoming increasingly urban. Over half the global population now lives in cities.
Relaxation is a foundation of success. It creates space for clarity, creativity, and innovation. Wait, when last did you get a good break? Veta's exclusive apartment is here for you and your friends, family, and guests. It is always a soft luxury at Veta's exclusive apartments, where smart bedrooms, spacious living spaces, parking lots, and free Wi-Fi to stay connected. Well-equipped kitchen for your tastings and a serene environment with 24-hour security and power supply. So come and and lodge. Come or get a VIP rest and privacy at Veta's exclusive apartments at number 1 F1 Street inside Ijapo Estate, Akure, Ondo State. For reservations,
0805 484 7777. I take that again. 0805 484 7777.
Tell a friend to tell a friend at Veta's exclusive apartment Ijapo, Akure is affordable, welcoming, and safe to stay for memories.
The peak of your morning with Glow Focus on 99.1
This
FM.
is Random Facts.
The human body
Welcome back. It's still Glow Focus right here on Glow 99.1 FM, transmitting from Ijapo Estate in Akure. We're going to take our report now, and afterwards we'll be joined by our guest, the chairman of Waste Management Board, Yinka Labi. Please stay tuned right after this report.
Waste disposal disposal is fast running many urban centers into flood traps. The indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drainage channels has once again come under scrutiny, with experts identifying it as a major cause of urban flooding, environmental degradation, and public health risks. As the rainy season sets in, stakeholders, opinion leaders, and the residents warn that improper refuse disposal remains a serious threat, a ticking time bomb if not urgently addressed. Speaking on hazards of indiscriminate refuse disposal, an emergency response worker Omotosho Okeya said tackling the problem requires collective responsibility, sustained public sensitization, and stronger community engagement.
Dumping of refuse will lead to health and environmental challenges, including water, soil, and air pollution. Or broken glasses can equally cause injury. So when all these substances are released into the air, or it causes a lot of challenges to human health, to environment in general. However, environmental pollution could be prevented by preventing the release or reducing the release of these hazardous substances into the air. Also, the gas released by the vehicles, this could be reduced by, making use of public transportation.
A house owner in Akure, Kayode Erukubami, also advised residents to desist from dumping refuse indiscriminately.
To always encourage our people to ensure that waste are properly gathered and then dump it with the waste management board. Then again, when people dump this waste in drainages, it blocks the drainage, causes flooding, and in some terrible cases can affect houses. So I want to encourage our people. Let us change our orientation. Let us be conscious of our environment and do things the way it should be done.
Residents further called for proper monitoring by government agencies, urging authorities to provide adequate equipment and enforce environmental laws.
I feel like to a very large extent, maybe proper supervision will be very, very helpful in cases like this. Proper supervision in the sense that the environmental, maybe we can make it a more conventional thing where they come from time to time at any point they want to come just to check. I understand that if you have any environmental concern about public people or neighbors, you can approach them, sanction a complaint, and they would work towards resolving the issue for you. But I feel like there's more for them to do.
Provision of waste disposal facilities, public awareness campaign, educate the citizens on proper waste management. Those sanitation agencies, they strengthen environment bodies in monitoring and managing waste properly. Strict law and enforcement. That one is very, very important. You should introduce and enforce penalty for illegal dumping.
Lately, I have not been seeing them do, but the people that do pack the refuse, the government should ensure that they come to each community to pack their refuse. The government should ensure there is adequate equipment for the people packing the refuse. So if there's no adequate equipment for them, they won't be able to come and pack the refuse.
People just throw trash everywhere, and I feel like it's caused because of poor waste management systems that we have in Nigeria. Educate the masses about how bad it's affecting their health and the health of their loved ones and people around them. Provide waste bins.
Government can actually enforce strict laws and penalties for those who do not adhere to the laws. Government can also provide adequate waste management system. Government can also increase public awareness and campaign.
They added that citizens must take responsibility for maintaining a clean environment.
I don't believe environmentalists done on the last Saturday of every month should probably stick to your environment alone. I feel like the whole community has to come together to do something about the environment.
As a good citizen, it is expected of you to dispose waste properly. Also, as a good citizen, you participate in community cleanups where you dodge with other members of the community to make sure that your environments are clean.
As environmental conditions continue to impact public health, residents are encouraged to adopt practices that promote a cleaner and healthier society. Ayodamope Ogunrinde reporting.
This is Glow Focus. Of course, waste management is a present issue in Ondo State, Nigeria, with several challenges, contributing to environmental degradation and health risk. Some of the key cases of waste management in the state include inadequate waste collection infrastructure. Many areas in Akure, the Ondo State capital, lack proper waste, collection systems, leading to indiscriminate dumping of waste on streets and in waterways. Poor disposal practices. Residents often dispose of waste in an unauthorized area, such as vacant lots, roadsides, and drainage channels, contributing to flooding and environmental pollution. Limited regulatory enforcement, weak enforcement of environmental laws and regulations. This has emboldened individuals and businesses to engage in improper waste disposal practices that we all witness all the time. And insufficient public awareness. Many residents lack awareness about proper waste management practices and the risk associated with improper disposal. That's why we're bringing someone who knows our onions well, to help us dissect this issue. Inadequate funding is another thing, but of course we'll have to hear from the horse's mouth. Waste management initiatives in the state are often underfunded, limiting the capacity of authorities to provide effective services. We hope that when our guest comes in to help us dissect this issue, the needful would be done.
Of course, and if you look at it, I know that those involved in waste management have a duty to make not just Akure, but its environment clean. And that's what they do every day. There are different aspects to look at, because if you look at it, recently, about stories from waste management in Ondo State, you would see that the private sector participation, PSP expansion, has been done. The state has significantly expanded its engagement with private sector collectors as well, increasing coverage from 13 private sector participation PSPs in 5 zones to 33 zones coverage to improve efficiency in urban centers like Akure, having like 18 already across Akure. And also, if you look at it, monthly environmental sanitation in the state, statewide exercise is also being held every last Saturday of every month between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. This, people complain that it stops them, from going about their businesses, especially if you have parties for weekend and the persons have actually not, they are just coming that they've lodged ahead. So it becomes difficult to reach out to get to the venue. Also, residents are mandated to clean their surroundings, clear drainages and deceit gutters. Also, Cleaner Ondo Drive, recently launched as a volunteer-driven initiative to evacuate waste from illegal dump sites and promote community cleanliness. Waste advocacy as well. The Ondo State Waste Management Authority, OSMA, is aggressively promoting the use of waste bins and proper bagging to avoid, contamination, and also to prevent indiscriminate roadside dumping. Riverine management, specialized partnership are being formed between the Ondo State Waste Management Agency and the agencies like Osopadec to address the unique waste disposal challenges, states, riverine and oil producing communities are facing. We should also let people know that a sanitation movement update as of March 2026, the exercise, was actually conducted without restriction of movement to accommodate national events like JAMB mock examination. Governors, take so far. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has equally ordered comprehensive review of waste operations, expressing dissatisfaction with the current cleanliness level and demanding Akure returns to its status as one of Nigeria's cleanest capitals. In terms of infrastructural challenge, there will be challenges. Local waste managers have called for urgent government intervention regarding inadequate service trucks, poor access roads to dump sites, and the need for landfills expansion, and also composting and waste to wealth. Recent academic and policy discussions have highlighted pilot composting programs for organic market waste in Akure. as a viable solution for reducing landfill volume and supporting agriculture. Because from the waste management area, sometimes you tend to have some other materials that you could send to the field to farmers just to as fertilizers, to boost their crops and all of that, the growth of their crops. But one thing I'd like us to look at as we await Dr. Mrs. Yinka Alabi is the management of waste trucks. They enter areas, they enter surroundings, but sometimes too they leave these things while they are parking. Sometimes what they leave on the street litters the street as well, and some, when they are called, they do not turn back. It is those in the areas that would pack it again, and but we I think there should be an encouragement too for those doing that job, because I used to wonder that whoever is on the truck helping us to pack waste and taking it from people, sometimes they tend to have bottles on their bodies where they are they drink water from, and sometimes I'm like, how do these people do their job, that they mount trucks around, they speak to us while in the dirt itself, and also you hand these things over to them. Sometimes they are not properly kitted because they don't have hand gloves. I've seen people with gloves and boots, but nowadays you hardly see it. And you always see somebody who does not speak Yoruba amongst them. Maybe people from the northern side who are, prone to doing these jobs.
I have lots of questions for our guest when she comes in. About
hopefully.
Is it compulsory, for individuals to post or probably dispose their refuse to Ondo State Waste Management Authority with the agency, or you can actually cater for that yourself? Because there are some persons, sometimes when these people, there are areas they cannot even go to, there are areas they don't even go to, and those persons cater for themselves. If they are to cater for themselves, fine. If they are not, how do they ensure that some of their vehicles go into some of these rural areas to ensure that the dirt they are taking? Because if you go to some of these areas during rainy season like this, we've entered it already, you see people dumping refuse inside gutters and all that, and then we have drainage,
hoping that the next rain will wash it away.
But then it stays there stinking, smelling,
and if it doesn't stay, it goes to another point to block the way.
And at some point people have been complaining that the state's capital is smelling. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
The state capital is smelling, but I thank God they are doing the needful now. You see women, some in the morning, sweeping the roads, but that's not just enough. That's where majority just pass and go. Let's talk about the areas where visitors are not even visiting, not just the major roads. How clean are they?
I was even going to ask again that those who sweep the streets in Akure, those who do that, it's actually a manual job, but those who do it sometimes are not well kitted. You see them sometimes in their orange, overall, but at the same time, sometimes they do not have nose masks to prevent them from, taking the smell directly. Number two, the dust, because even when, okay, you're a woman, you would understand, sometimes even if at dawn, if you sweep at dawn, there'll be dust. Despite the fact that at dawn it's not a sunny time,
they might not be visible.
You might not see it, but it will be there.
Perceive it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So they are not, they are badly protected. That's one. Two, we've seen some northern states where, people tend to take trucks that have. I think we have a caller now.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Oh, is she there?
Are you there, ma'am? Can you hear us?
Hello, good morning. Okay. Maybe we should, in the meantime, throw the studio lines open while we take a few comments from people, because two things I'd like to know: how much are people paying to dispose their waste when the agency, car passes, or the truck? How much? As low as how much? As high as how much?
And are they also living to the expectations of residents of Ondo State? Because sometimes you get to pay money and they don't come around to even pack your refuse. There have been lots of complaints, and we hope this would.
Then you have a mountain of undisposed waste in the area, stinking. You have kids playing around it and all of that. So you can your name, where you're calling from, your area, and if waste management trucks, how many times do they come per month, and when they come, how much do you pay, as high or low? Studio lines are open 0805 551 1110
or 070667718222. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the conversation.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mike.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, well done for your job that you are doing there and my sister there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Prince Akure Oladimeji.
You're welcome, sir.
But can I seek your indulgence to comment about the newspaper?
Of course. It's part of the show.
Okay, thank you very much. When we are talking about security, which is very, very sensitive, the security of this country, we are talking of the secondary issue, the secondary solution. What about the primary solution? What caused the insecurity? The insecurity in Nigeria is within Nigeria. What are the causes? We should go into the causes. For example, in the northern area, 90% of youth there are uneducated. 90%, if not more. So the leaders there, what are they doing? They should declare state of emergency on education in that area. So in our area here, we should regulate the drift, the rural urban drift. When people are trooping to the urban center, it will claim higher demand on accommodation. And when the demand is high, the supply is low, and the price will be increased. So all these things we should be salient and look into it. So all these things. So about our security, about our this, we Nigerians, we should look at the primary causes of this insecurity.
All right.
So that is just the. If you will allow me to just highlight some primary causes, I'll be very.
Tell us two. You can tell us two.
Okay, sir. So the primary causes of this is that the government in question, they are laying more emphasis on political issues. They are not laying emphasis on all this work that people are doing. When a graduate that has not gotten any experience apply for political posts, is earning millions, billions every time. People we put more high priority on political offices. They will not go outside there and work. They will all is politics because of the monetary value of these things. Then when we are talking of all these people, ADC or whatsoever, that they are clamoring, I will liken that one to one board in Yoruba. They call it konokono. The konokono we like to hibernate and incubate another boss egg. This ADC, if they want to form a very good coalition, they should go and form political party. They should not go and hibernate on another political party.
But they tried ADA, they tried ADA, and they allege that INEC frustrated ADA's registration effort for 2 years.
Mike, let me tell you one thing. I was a teacher. I was a teacher. Now, when I was teaching, a guy complained to a boy, a student, sir. Let me say a student.
Yes,
a student complained, go and reported me to his parents. He said Prince Adegroye did not want him to pass. Then they now brought that boy to school. They now asked, what happened that Prince Adegroye did not want you to pass? He said he did not want me to sit down with the person that is that no book, that is intelligent. So all these excuses.
He was trying to cheat. You were to prevent cheating.
Yes, that is just it. That is what is happening. That is just what is happening to all these flimsy excuses by the so-called ADC. They should go and sit down and recuperate and move their home from foundation the top.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your insight this morning. That was a very long one there.
Most definitely. Let's give room for others. But before then, we'll connect with our guests this morning. The program continues shortly. Please stay tuned. Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning.
All right. We now have with us Dr. Mrs. Yinka Alabi, Chairman, Waste Management, Ondo State. Thank you for joining us this morning on Glow Focus, our mid-morning conversation program where we look at state of the nation matters. We hope that your holiday was restful.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
All right. So very quickly, thank you so much for joining us. I would like to ask you, what are the causes of drainage to get blocked in Ondo State, and how does it contribute to flooding?
It's not a good thing for drainages to be blocked because it's about the culture of managing waste. We don't manage waste the proper way. If we manage waste the proper way, it cannot end up in the drainages. But unfortunately, some of our people, they don't pack the waste neatly, arrange it in such a way that they wait for pickup. So most of the time, those waste that are supposed to be arranged and picked up ends up in the drainages. And definitely, when you block the ways of the waters, it definitely will find its level. So finding another way to move. So definitely it will cause flooding. So it's unfortunate, but we believe that our people can do better. So instead of our waste ending up in the drainages, we expect it to end up at the dump site, not in the drainages.
All right.
So that's the problem.
All right. Let's look at enforcement, because where there are no laws, there are no sins. Are there, legal framework on ground, like laws to be enforced? Because the only thing we see, well enforced is the environmental sanitation activity declared for every last Saturday of the month, which we have also acknowledged. Are there things, to look at this, just in case we'll find people who are not disposing their waste very well? Are there laws? Yeah, because if there was enforcement, there could be, that culture could go to bed.
Yeah. Our Waste Management Authority is an agency that is established by law. So we have an enforcement department who does all of that. They go out to arrest people when they default. So sometimes we are out there to watch and see how people behave. And when we get them arrested, we take them to court. And it's in two ways. They either get convicted, that is to serve a jail term, or they're asked to pay a fine. So either of those two. So it's been established by law. So we have been doing that. We go out, at times we are out till the midnight just to see how the people are behaving, what the people are doing. So most of the time we get people arrested, people that are dumping refuse indiscriminately. We get them arrested. So when we arrest them, we take them to court. If it's midnight, we'll take them to the station till the following day. If it's a working day, so we take them to court.
Okay.
So there are consequences.
Thank you very much. I like the fact that you said they are arrested and taken to court. Under your watch as the chairman of Waste, how many has been taken to court? How many has been jailed? How many have been made to feel the full wrath of the law?
The countless. I don't have the figures on my fingertips, but I can tell you they are countless. Apart from what we do on the last Saturday of every month, which is the Environmental Day, ordinary days too, we do enforcement. So we go out. There are times we get people dumping refuse on the median. Some of them dumping it at the illegal dump site they've created by themselves. We get them arrested. We have so many of them. I can't begin to give figures because there are so many.
I'd also like to ask you, do you do this just in rural areas or in urban areas, or just in rural and urban areas? Because there are so many rural areas where we don't get to see some of your operatives, working there. And we have the environment being dirty, dumping of refuse here and there in some rural areas in Ondo State. Especially
yes,
Akure.
We don't have our presence only in Akure. We have presence in Akoko, Northeast local government, or local government. We have that is the Northern Central District. We have at the Central, the Akure Metropolis, and the Ondo West. So we also have at Igbokoda and Ore. But we know we cannot just be in those places alone. We are already discussing with the local government and chairman to see how we can collaborate so that the presence can be everywhere. So it's not the job of one person. It's not something one person can achieve. So every hand must be on deck to make sure that Ondo State is a place of pride in terms of waste management. So it's not something we can do alone, but we are in collaboration to see how we can walk it through the 18 local government. But as I speak, we have presence in those 6 local governments within the 3 senatorial districts of Ondo State.
Thank you very much. Just before I hand you over to Mike, how does your agency address environmental degradation caused by these block drains and flooding? And what initiatives are on the way? Because I know you're working, to clear block drains and prevent future blockages.
We are in an area of circular economy. So we know that circular economy can change all of this. Aside from that, we are also speaking to our people to make sure that, it has to do with attitudinal change. I mean, the people must know that as citizens, we must be responsible to our responsibilities. So we don't take our refuse and dump it indiscriminately. We pack them neatly. Aside from that, the circular economy can also assist us in this area, because when we grow from the waste to the waste to wealth, we know with that most of this waste we see will no longer be waste, but we are viewing it as a golden mine on our hands, which we can turn into something better. So when people see it as waste, we don't see it as waste. We see it as something that is golden. So we believe that because along the line, we were walking along the line and making sure that very soon, because the work is in the pipeline already, very soon, the events will unfold that will take refuse off our streets, because people will turn in their waste on their own, because it will be useful to us, and we'll be using them to make some better things.
All right. Before people from home actually join the conversation via the studio lines to maybe give their remarks or ask questions, I'd like to ask Ma. This is about operation of waste management trucks in Ondo State. People, across different neighborhoods, sometimes, tend to say that these trucks do not come. They come seldomly and not, concurrently. So it leaves them with heaps of refuse along their areas. And sometimes, too, along the Ojaoba area, too. We see people, dump their refuse at the middle of the median put in the middle. They put it there. And by morning, you find it there again, sometimes for 2 days and all of that. Whereas there are places where they can dump these things. Also, secondly, let's look at how waste management officials, especially those in the operations, how they are kitted. Sometimes they are badly kitted, without gloves, without boots. And are these part of your role, or these are supposed to be done by private companies that employ them, and also those on the road who sweep the median area of the road very early morning?
Like I said the other time, attitudinal change. Ordinarily, people are not supposed to be doing that. dropping their refuse on the media. People are not supposed, because that is not the right thing to do. Even where we have dino bins or station at particular location, people very close to the place still find, joy in just dumping the refuse at the media, even when there's a place for them to drop it. So that was why I said attitudinal change is very, very important. You are not just doing it because somebody is watching you. You are doing it because that is what the right thing to do. So I'm appealing to our people. I've said this so many times over. Then on the issue of their kids, we have two major parts to this. We as an agency, we have people working with us. Then we also have our private people also working with us. So what we've been trying to do is to make sure that people do what is right. So on our own part, we give gloves to them. We keep them. Though some have just been employed, that we're still looking to keep. That is some of our people that have just been employed. But for those people who've been working before, we have them kitted. And at times, when you're using gloves, there are things that when you use, it can get old, it can get worn out, then you want to replace it again. So far, so good. I know that in some areas, we can also do better, because we're not working alone. We're also working with private people. And when you're working with private people, all you can do is to make sure that you keep your eyes, your gaze fixed, so that you can get them to do what is right, even when you're not there.
Yeah,
and the truth of the matter is that we cannot be there all the time. We cannot be there 100% all the time. But so far, we're working to make sure that even when we're not there, people are doing what is right.
All right. Is there any effort underway to make sure that those sweeping the median side of our roads in Akure, the women we see very early in the morning around 6 or 5, are there ways, are there things on the way to make sure that their job is more convenient? For example, wearing of gloves. Sometimes we see them, in some orange overall, which they wear, and that seems to be the uniform, which is not bad. But without boots, and at the same time, they bend over to use the regular, sweeping broom. Are there ways where they can get the sticky broom, where there is a stick in between it, and they can stand upright to sweep along? They only get to where they want to park before they bend, because we have to manage the physiology of these persons as well if we want them to walk, conveniently, because we discover that they do other things. There are people who are in the area who do other things but have been contracted to just come on duty, sweep, and go. Because in some states in Nigeria, madam, we see them, they even push trucks to sweep sometimes. We might not have gotten there, but are there things coming to ameliorate the condition of those sweeping, the public spaces in Ondo State?
You see, concerning that, we also want their physiology to be well positioned. We don't allow them, or let me say, we won't allow them to get badly shaped because they're sweeping. So far, so good. What we do is, normally, even those sticks you talk about, they use brooms.
Yes.
In Lagos, I've been to Lagos. We've gone to as far as going to the Loma to study whatever they're doing there. And what we discover is that those women, when they give them brooms, on their own, they get sticks in between. I've even gone as far as getting the video. I've gone as far as getting the pictures to make sure that we can also replicate such hair. Even there's this broom that is different from the normal brooms that we use here. They normally get it around Badagry. We have gone as far as walking to that place to make sure that we get something more convenient. Because if we are not really using a street sweeper, which is a machine, definitely what we are left with, if we are dealing with human, is to get the normal brooms that we're using. So far we've been working to make sure that we get it done in a better manner. So as far as Lagos we have gone, as far as Badagry we have gone, just to make sure that we bring in better things that can work for us here and get whatever the job they're doing easier for them.
All right, thank you. Just before we let you go, I have this question for you. Are there plans for community education awareness campaigns on proper waste disposal? Do you have them? Or are they on the way?
Yes. It's not on the way. It's what we're doing. We have a department that is engaged in public enlightenment.
Okay.
And we've been doing it. We've been going on radios, on TV. We have brought stakeholders.
You have not been to Glow FM. You have not been to Glow FM. We've not heard it on Glow FM.
That is it. But don't also forget that I'm on Glow FM now.
Okay.
So somehow,
Okay.
We'll be back.
That's
true. Okay. Thank you very much. And I also like to ask you, can you elaborate on specific project, because people are listening, specific project or success in addressing drain blockages that you have done, that your minister have done, and you have been proud of that? Yes, you have carried this out successfully in some areas. I just want you to mention those areas so people can, just like testimonials.
Yes, if you go around them, Fiwashaye, that is as far as Obaile access, then the that is Hospital Road areas and some other areas. We've been going out, getting people out to take care of their environment, because most of the time you see people dumping when they sweep into the gutters. So we've gone around to educate them, to sensitize them that you don't do this. What you do is, and some of them, you'll see them even as far as what people will eat, they display it just by the dirt there. So we've been going around to tell them that, look, this is not right. And most of the time when we go out like that, you see them coming out to move those things immediately, to clear their drainages. So we've had cases where we go out and on the spot, we also join them in doing it. So we work it together. We make sure that the drainages are being cleared. But like we said earlier, it's not something we can achieve in a day, but it's an everyday thing, because every day we generate waste. So provided we're still living, it is an everyday thing. So it's not something we will finish in one day. So we're going around, we're sensitizing them, even when the government will not be there. You can also do well in taking care of all your own environment, making sure that it is clean, making sure that your drainage is not blocked. You want to clear it yourself. You don't expect government to wait for government to come and do that, because if there is flooding, it's going to affect us. But there are some major areas, and you can see government working in that area, making sure that canals, they are moving waste from there. In the first place, the waste are not supposed to end up there in the first place. But since it has ended up there, the government is doing everything in their powers to make sure they clear it. But you can also see some just gutters in front of everybody's household. You don't also expect that government must come and also be clearing that for us. So on our own, we can do well by coming out, not only on environmental days. That is a special one we do at every last Saturday of the month, but on daily basis, just making sure that we live in a very healthy environment, because that is key. We have to make it clean. We have to keep it clean. If not for anybody, but for ourselves.
Thank you very much for accepting to talk to us on Glow Focus this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Do well to have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
Mrs.
Yeah. All right. We hope to see. Yeah, we hope to see your handwriting in town very soon.
No problem.
And we hope that you bring your enlightenment on radio, especially on Glow FM.
It won't be bad to have a 30 minutes, weekly program to enlighten people.
Okay.
All right.
We will be back.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you. All right. That's how much you can take from the call-in segment of our analyst. Of course, we had Shia to join us via phone call this morning. Now it's time for your esteemed listener to be part of the conversation, where you have the privilege to air your own thoughts on any of the issues that have been read out, that have been discussed this morning. And the numbers are 0805 551 1110
or 0706 667 1822. You can also drop comments online via Facebook and let us know what you're thinking. I asked earlier, how much do you pay to dispose your waste? How much high or low do you pay? And when you do not see them, what you were saying something earlier that sometimes people can they dispose their waste themselves, and all. I think it is traditional for Africans. Sometimes they have at their backyard where they put these things.
And and burn.
You know, Yorubas we say akiton.
And burn.
And
then
burn it.
Causing carbon
That's
monoxide
another thing.
to people around, to residents around.
Some
other
even do
measures,
it at the evening time when others have gone to work and they are back home, and you're like, you see kids and elderly persons coughing in the area.
I just hope that Nigerians can actually do better, because when you go abroad, all of these things, abroad was not, they were not created from outside the sky. It was just the way God created Nigeria that He created, foreign country. I don't want to start mentioning names now, but please, you and I can do better. We don't have to go there to start living like them. Let's make our environment clean and safer for everyone around us. Remember, we're live on Facebook, Glow 99.1 FM Akure. That's the handle on Facebook. You can drop your comment under the live streaming session or call us on the phone numbers or download the Glow FM app on Google Play Store. You may also listen to us live on Radio Garden at Glow 99.1 FM. You may also listen to us on our website www.glowfmradio.com. The program continues shortly. Please stay tuned.
You're on to GF. Glow Focus, your mid-morning conversational magazine show on 99.1 FM, Akure. Rise to the peak of your morning with Glow Focus on 99.1.
right, it's been a swell time on Glow Focus, the Tuesday edition. From 10, we take it down to 12. And of course, we sincerely appreciate everyone who's been part of the program and the production crew here too. You can look at some of the stories we've read in the dailies just to keep abreast of the latest from the Nigerian news tabloids. But also the issue for today has been about waste management and also how it makes Akure look. On the flip side, the activities of those in the Waste Management Authority Agency, people across neighborhood, and of course, we've had four words from people who've equally said that they see the waste managers come around, but sometimes too they do not come. Every now and then, and the pack heaps of refuse in the house. But you heard the woman in charge, Dr. Mrs. Yinka Alabi, who spoke extensively on the activities of the agency and what is expected of all of us as citizens of this country, right from Akure and the environment as well. We have to dispose of refuse very, very cleanly, and also you're not expected to allow it to go into the drainages because it will eventually go and block it elsewhere, and some people might be badly affected by that. We hope that we'll all prioritize, neat environment, so to have safe health as we hope to live longer. It's been a swell time, like I said. Tomorrow, hopefully the program would air again by